Welcome to another episode of Game Boy Roulette, where we take a look at randomly chosen games from the Game Boy library. World Bowling. Ooh, that's probably going to take a really long lane. Yet another sport makes its way to the Game Boy. Granted, bowling isn't quite as intense of a sport as some others. That said, one thing that gives bowling an advantage over other sports, I'd argue it can most easily be converted to video game format. Select power, select angle, select spin, and you're good to go. The games can be quick and to the point, and there's nothing quite as satisfying as hitting the pins dead on. I guess that's why bowling games have come in all shapes and sizes, from the incredibly fun and innovative Wii Bowling to the insane flash game Elf Bowling that was so popular that people actually thought it was a computer virus. The developer of World Bowling is Athena, a Japanese company who really didn't make that many games worth talking about. However, what is worth talking about is the publisher. You probably haven't heard of Romstar, but they were remarkably important in the days of arcade. They were a publisher and distributor of arcade machines, and helped license some of the most popular games in the US. Arkanoid, Time Soldiers, Bubble Bobble, 1942, Ghosts and Goblins, those games were all brought to the US by Romstar. They made a few attempts at console and handheld games, but their mark on history will forever remain tied to the arcade scene. But enough backstory, the cover makes bowling look awesome. A giant bowling ball projecting the continents, crashing into pins representing countries, which is probably a metaphor for international relations of some kind. I am all about it. Well, what the heck are we waiting for? Time to get our least comfortable pair of shoes imaginable, because it's time for World Bowling. Oh god. Oh, what the... Why is the Game Boy screaming at me, World Bowling? Oh, this music says something. You can vaguely hear a melody, but it's like all weird. Let's just leave this horrible place. Yep, that's me. That's a little bit better. Okay, so how do I do this? Why does the music sound like nails on a chalkboard a bit? It won't go away. This is just my life now. Okay, so here, control center, power near high, bam. Okay, so it's about as basic as you can get for bowling. So that should tip to the right, yep. Tip a little bit that way, this should be good, bam, damn it. So, why is my profile right there? Is it like the Doom guy? The worse I do in bowling, the more in pain I become. This music is really difficult to listen to. Bam. Ah. Bam. What? Okay, I'm guessing it went into the gutter? Perfect. Perfect. Bam. Damn it. I mean, you can't really be expected to have physics in this game. This has to be it. Yeah! Do I get any sort of... Oh! It doesn't give me any sort of reward saying spare! Also, I can't pause. Oh, there we go. B lets me look at the scoreboard. I guess that first run where I only threw once was like a bonus thing? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know the official rules of bowling. I just know you throw the ball and then the pins explode. There's something really grating about this music. I can hear that there's a melody, but there's just something off. I guess because it's not like a straight tone, it's like sort of wobbly. I don't know how to describe it. It just ain't right, is, I guess, what I'm trying to get at. By the way, we are bowling in Japan. You can tell by the Japanese flags there and also there. I'm gonna complete one whole set and see where we go from there. I'm sorry, I love the fact that my character is just there, not reacting to anything. He's just there, watching. Slightly to the left, max power. Excuse me, what? My ball, like, disappeared. I mean, it's bowling. You can control the ball pretty well. I was also kind of hoping I could play against someone. Like a CPU. How did that? What? That made no sense. That made absolutely no sense. I feel like I get this layout of pins a lot. Again, what? How? It's hitting the one behind it? Even though it's clearly going for the other one? Again, I can't really say the physics are bad, because a game like this doesn't really have physics, per se, but... Why does it keep happening here? It's a little limiting, is my point. If this high tone wasn't in the music, I think I'd like it a lot more. Oh my god, is it time for another spare? I think it's time for another spare. Here we go. This is it. This is the spare your grandmother warned you about. Bam! Woohoo! Went well. 114. I'm okay with that. Oh, okay, now what? That's it? I'll play as you. Wait, whoa. Why won't it let me pick anything else from but Japan? Whoa, time out. This is weird. Hang on a sec. That button does nothing. Hitting down or up or left or right selects Japan as well. What? Hang on. There has to be another way to select, right? To beat the game, you have to go through bowling alleys of 6 countries. In order to progress, you need a score of 200 on each board until you get to England, where it's upgraded to 250. What? That's super lame. So that high score at the bottom isn't just like, oh, here's what the best score is. That's the minimum score you have to get to. That's extremely lame. God, it means you have to bowl like the perfect game. And the thing is, the actual bowling mechanics are not bad in this. Like I said, they're basic. You move, you throw, and you curve the ball. That's all you need for bowling. But man, you have to get that high on every single level to get to the next one? That's absurd. The core is fine, but everything around the core sucks. This music is driving me crazy. These physics make no sense. How am I hitting the pins behind but not in front? It's really difficult to actually progress. Apparently there's no passwords or save system either. So each time you play, you just have to get everything done. This feels like a bowling game you'd play on one of those old Tiger Electronics. Like, the physics are so similar every time you throw, no matter what you do. Once you find the exact place to stand and power and control, you can easily bowl a 300 every time. Bowling games can be fun, but this one is just not doing it for me. Also, I have hit this exact set of pins about 100 times now, and it's driving me crazy. Bam. You saw that pin right there? It should have knocked into that one. I just wanted to be physics. I get it, Game Boy can't do physics. And honestly, based on this, Game Boy can't really do bowling games either. Or at least Athena and Romstar can't. I mean, as long as I don't have to listen to that music anymore, I'm good. I said earlier that the mechanics of a bowling game should be simple. Adjust power, angle, and spin, and you're good to go. And at its absolute core, World Bowling did technically have all of those. But while the game was simple, it was a little too simple. It really did resemble a slightly more advanced version of one of those Tiger Electronics games. Obviously, the Game Boy couldn't handle realistic physics or anything like that, and this game actually was one of the first 30 games ever released for the Game Boy, so it is at least understandable why the game is so primitive compared to others, but that still doesn't really make it that much fun to play. Although, to be honest, even if the bowling mechanics were super advanced, there were plenty of other problems the game had. The way you had to get a score of 200 just to advance was lame, because it meant you had to grind the first level over and over. And the single game mode also hurt the game. For a game as simple as bowling, you really need to have some variety, or an AI opponent, or just something to break up the monotony. And yes, the music was absolutely brutal. It felt like they took a perfectly fine song and increased the nails on chalkboard setting by 500. This is an early Game Boy game, but even giving it that excuse, it's not that good. If you really need a bowling fix, you could certainly do worse, but overall there are plenty of other places to get your bowling fun from. But no matter what you do, make sure to bring your earplugs. God, that was grating. And that's all for another episode of Game Boy Roulette. Make sure to subscribe so you can follow the series as we continue to dig through the Game Boy vault. I'm BrianJ, and I'll see you next time.